Hey, how's it going? This is Royal with Toxel Central RTV style, and tonight, you guessed it, we have the Midnight Show. Ruby's on her way. She's flying in from I don't know where, but she's having a little trouble getting here, but she'll be in here. We also have some surprises in store later on. We have a guest coming in, and you're gonna have to wait to see it happen. So, how you all doing tonight? How's your Saturday been so far? It's midnight in the midnight hour. We may be talking about some goes. We may be talking about some simple chit chat, and of course, we may have some guests. So, without further ado, I guess I'll wait for a little bit for Ruby to come in. Man, let me just make sure everybody's okay. Let's see. Well, let's start it. So, man, you know what? How do you all guys like what we've been doing lately in the music show? Any idea? Anything like that? Hey, look at that. Sup, Royal. Find you on YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube. We're live right now on YouTube, Joe. So you can definitely look us up. Again, Talkshow Central RTV. Definitely subscribe and that gonna do. We definitely need to grow that YouTube channel. We mainly we normally come out on Facebook, but we also go live on YouTube and all of that. So I definitely we're live on YouTube already. Let me turn on the other channel as well. Here we go. And boom, we're live on that as well. Hey, Coco Reyes, how's it going? Just saw you there doing some stuff. So yeah, the music show. I now have another host is Hilda Benya. She is going to be we're going to actually start a new show actually on Monday mornings called the Monday Brunch. It's going to go live at 10 a.m. in the morning Central Standard Time, 11 in the morning on the East Coast, and at 9 in the morning on the west on California Pacific Standard Time and all that. So you can see us all over the USA. You can see us. You can hear that show up in Mexico, in South America, and even in Europe. And actually, we do have some viewers up in Europe. Speaking of Europe, Montenegro. Hey Diana, buenos días. Carla Lasso up in France. Buenos días, Pelabou Francais. Oui. And so, guys, we're just here. Let's see who's on the skybox over there. We got people. Oscar, buenas noches. ¿Cómo te va, Oscar? And I guess who else is up there eating some fajitas with you guys? Michael and Jessica Garza, ¿cómo les va? Buenas noches. Aquí estamos. Ahorita estamos esperando a Ruby. We're waiting for Ruby to come in. She must have some problems with the Learjet landing on her runway here at right outside her studios, but she'll be in just a little bit. We're gonna definitely hear her sing a little bit of her new song. She's coming in, bringing in a guest, so that might be the problem. The deal with the internet today, I don't know if any of you noticed that sometime in the afternoon, all of a sudden, uh, the the service went out. I don't know. I have T-Mobile and all, but I don't know. I don't think it was just T-Mobile. It was several carriers. All of a sudden, boom! Like for 10 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes, man, no service. That was weird, man. I was in a chess tournament. Actually, I was coaching, and so all of a sudden, I was on a call, and all of a sudden, the call went dead. And it's like, okay, I thought I had done something, so I tried it, and I called back, and the service was gone. And then, sure enough, somebody told me, "Hey, we just lost service too," and boom, 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 and it just went like that, man. It was freaky because obviously, sometimes depending on where you're at, you may lose service because maybe you're too close to the border or something. But or maybe you're inside a building or something like that. But man, when you all of a sudden a lot of different companies carriers lose service, man, that's kind of freaky because you wonder what's going on out there. Ooh. So yeah, any of you experienced that today? Let me know. Let me know what's going on. Yeah, so guys, man, it's coming. It's coming. It's January. It's March. March is coming over. Next week we start April 1st. April Fool is gonna be here on Friday, and so you guys need to get ready with whatever surprises you have for your friends on, trying to fool them and all that. I know that was big back in the day. I don't know about nowadays, but hey, it's something to have fun with on April Fool's Day, right? But April's here, man, and it just seemed like just a couple of days ago, man, maybe a couple of weeks ago, man, it was January, and here we are, and it's like, wow. And Ruby's here. Hey, Ruby, what's up, man? A little issue with the camera there or something? There you go. She's coming around. She's coming in. But oh yeah, man, this year's been flying, 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 flying. Se está yendo muy rápido. We can hear you, Ruby. What's up? You doing all right?
I don't know. I can't. Can you see me?
I cannot see you yet. Turn your camera on.
It's on.
It's on. So maybe something's hiding. It is covering the lens.
We're getting our tech Carlos here to fix. How he fixes everything.
Okay. You know what? Maybe try restarting the computer and boom, then you can come back on. You're on the computer, right? Or you're on the phone?
I'm using my iPad because I usually use the iPad when I'm not in the studio, because if not, I have to go to the studio and you're talking too many ghost stories.
Yeah.
Let me get off and I'll come back, okay?
Yeah. Okay, cool. You take your time. All right. So yeah. Who knows why we might have a surprise. Yeah, go ahead and log out. Or let me kick you out. I don't know. Maybe I'll remove you. There you go. I'll remove you. And yeah, you go. So wow. We've been having problems. Actually, I did a show earlier, and all of a sudden, it just flickered. It just flickered, and that was kind of weird. As a matter of fact, Joe's comment came in before the show started, and I've never seen that where people can make comments before the show starts, and it was like weird, man. So yeah, again, one of those things. Oscar, how's it going in San Antonio? You everything going on all right over there, man? What's the deal with you, man? Talk to me, Oscar. Man, you know what, Oscar? One of these days, I want to drive over there, man, and have breakfast with you at that place you're always posting about. And I don't know what sabadito, el zapatito, or whatever it's called. And look at this. Oh yeah. Hey, what's up? Oh, what do we got here? We got Beauty and Beauty.
So it's gonna be me and my niece.
How's it going, niece?
Stories for you guys.
Ooh. Hey, I hear, Celeste, that you have exceptional gifts in the paranormal. ¿Vas a hacer brujería o qué?
A little bit of everything.
Man, I'm scared.
I didn't know this till we were like, all talking about it, and then so then, my cousin starts talking about some stuff, and then I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And then we got into the story, and now I can't go to the restroom because I'm scared. So
somebody's gonna come out through the commode and grab you.
Yeah, sit here so they can see you better, because I'm like right up in the. I'll have her sit here.
There you go. Look at you, man. You look cool.
So. I already told my special guest to log on. I'm hoping that she was able to stay up.
Well, you know what? I sent her a link. Because you told me who it was. So I sent her a link. I told her who I was.
If you can message her, because I don't have my phone. I left it over there. But I sent her a message right now, and I told her whenever she's ready, she can also link on. My niece, I told her whenever she'll be here listening to us, being a part of it, and then whenever we're ready, she'll talk to us about who she needs to talk to, whatever questions you may have.
You can come on. I see. Let me see. I just send her as you're ready. You can come on. So, yeah, I hope
How
she
do I see
follows you.
the comments? Am I able to see comments or no más tú?
Yeah, I think you should be able to see comments. Ahorita no entran comments. I don't know. But oye, I was talking that the internet went weird today. I mean, not the internet. The whole phone system went dead. Raul, remember you and I were on a conversation. We were talking, and all of a sudden you hanged up. I thought you hanged up, but really we had lost service.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Well,
and
my
it was
phone
a
died. That's why I have three new
different
phones
phone
in there.
companies that lost service right around that
Wow.
time. It's like weird. I've never seen that happen. I know, maybe when you're close to the border, you get that you're in Mexico thing or whatever. But it was weird. I don't know. I don't know if you noticed. Celeste, did you notice anything with the phones earlier today? Que eran como las 4, right, Ruby, when you were calling me or something like that?
Yeah. Did you
So,
notice anything weird with the phone service? It's because I have light.
Yeah, I lost signal for
you
a
go
little
on, like
bit.
your umbrellas. Yeah, yeah. I have those. I haven't
Oh, sí,
opened
sí
one of
tengo. It's
those.
just I feel like it's shining. It's too much.
No, no, no. Pues ponlo para
I
arriba, maybe
promise it makes
reflect
me
it
look
out.
skinny.
Yeah, you're too white there. Put it
Sí,
behind
pero
you.
mira,
Put
a
it
mí
in
no me
front of
gusta
you or
mucho
something.
mejor.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that looks pretty cool.
It's just
So,
that.
hey, well, tell us. Hey, mira, aquí está viene mi friend Hilda. Hey, Hilda, what's up? Qué bueno que you're still up, girl. This is Ruby,
Welcome
Hilda.
to
This
our
is Ruby
late
and
night show.
Celeste. Ruby's the singer. You gotta know
Well,
that.
we both sing. She actually
Oh,
sings too, but she's too shy.
ahorita la pongo a cantar. No te fue. Hey, Oscar, how's it going? Doing good, Race. Sorry I missed the car tip show earlier. I was napping. Hey, cool. Well, I'm glad you took a nap so you could be on the midnight show with us, man. I'm glad you're here. But you need to really look at that because Sharky was talking about some good stuff, man. And so it was out there. Hey, Ruby Ann, do you say
Hi,
Hilda?
Hilda. How are
Yeah,
you?
man. Yeah, man. We need to get you and Hilda together on the show one of these days.
Definitely.
Ruby, yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably in a couple of
Definitely.
weeks. Hey, but you got a new song out, Ruby. What's the deal with this new song?
Well, this new song, it's called. You should know what it's called. If you, I want you to say because now it's not. I think we need more bass. Now it's different. Do you know? Have you seen the? Have you heard my song or no?
Actually, I've been out because of I had a chess tournament this weekend, and so Friday,
Ooh.
Saturday, Sunday, I've been out of
You could
Facebook completely.
you could take a little while just to listen to it in your car. It's
Uh,
called Porque Duele el Amor,
¿Por qué
and
duele el amor?
it's yes,
Okay.
and it's produced by none other than my producer Sevi Contreras. He's also
Oh
with
man.
Texas Latino, and so it's a really awesome song. It talks about like she wants to be with this guy, but she has all these doubts and she's
Yeah.
nervous and so yeah, it's like like what do I do if I have you? If I have you, I'll be happy. But what if then I don't have you? Oh my God. ¿Por qué duele el amor?
I know, I know, I know, I know, I know how you feel. Wait, so sing me a little bit of it.
Hey, no. Last time somebody that you had on the show didn't even sing. I was like, Ira.
Well, es que he had laryngitis. He had, well, actually, ¿cómo se llama? Era PJ Flores, and
No, I know, but hey,
he
you should
gets,
be like, no excuses.
no, 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 but, well, he sang, he had sang his heart out at the, ¿cómo se llama? Music Fest or
Fanfare? Yeah.
Fanfare, and then afterwards they had gone to the Epic Bar, and they were singing all night because they went to celebrate after that up in San Antonio. Epic Bar. I don't know if you've ever been there. I know I was invited, so maybe next time I'm gonna go
But
over
we
there.
invited you to Fanfare and you didn't go either. So hopefully
Well, I
this
was
is
in
your time to go
Austin.
to one of our events.
No, no, no,
You
no, no,
didn't
no, no.
go. You didn't go to Baile del Sol. Where else didn't you go?
I
You
was
didn't go to
busy
Broken
at Baile del Sol.
Sprocket.
I didn't go to Broken Sprocket,
We're
and
making
I
a
know
list of where you haven't gone to, Royal.
I haven't gone to 3 of your events. Hey, but I'm always here in spirit supporting you. It's like, yeah, this is Hilda. Yeah, it was fanfare. Yeah, fanfare.
Well,
But yeah, I'm gonna definitely make your next time.
listen to the song definitely, and then When
Well,
I'm on your other show, then I'll sing it. 'Cause it's not like,
okay,
we heard
okay.
it.
When we do a music show, we'll sing it because this is
Yes,
not
because
the
then it
music
would
show.
defeat the
This is the
purpose of me doing it now.
midnight show. So
Right now,
Celeste,
guys, it's Royal and Ruby's show. It's like the slumber party slash
it's the
we can
spooky
do
hour.
without makeup
Yeah,
slash we can eat munchies and be in the dark
it's
and it's spooky.
pajama night.
Definitely. So I
So
want to
so
bring a special
Celeste,
guest. I
yes,
don't know if she's
Celeste.
gonna sleep.
What do you do, Celeste?
She's a
Um,
student.
I study for barbering,
Orale.
and um, I'm starting to look for modeling jobs and trying to start building up a portfolio so I can be something.
Oh man, I mean you're not gonna believe this, but I was in fashion. And I used to be a modeling consultant. Man, when I first got to, actually, I used to work in Dallas as a fashion photographer, and doing all of these things with photography. And then when I came to Brownsville, I opened up my studio in downtown, and then I was working with models and training models and all of that. And a couple of models actually got really good jobs. But I since stopped doing that. I've retired from it. But yeah, man. I mean, anytime you want, I can actually give you insights to that. Here in Brownsville, I would suggest maybe if you know a guy named Fish. Fish is man, he's an awesome individual. He is that he has modeled at Fashion Week in New York. As a couple of months, actually about a month ago, he was in Paris. He walked the runway in Paris. He's really, and he's got his own, I guess, company, modeling company, and the whole bit. I mean, I probably could send you some information so you can hook up with him and the whole bit. He might be on our show, maybe later on. He's been really busy, but actually, if you look through our shows, he was in about a year ago. He was one of our guests, and so yeah. But modeling, yeah, man, you definitely have a face, so it's cool, yeah. Yeah, modeling is cool, man. You need attitude. And obviously, yeah, it's not so much for beauty, but attitude, man. It's definitely what you need because that's all it is. Modeling, it's it. It's you just look great. Whatever they ask you to model, you make whatever they ask you to model look good. And then of course that kind of deal. So, Ruby, get piensas, Ruby. Ruby, it looked like you had a lot of fun on Fanfare, man. I was checking your pictures, man. You're photographing with a lot of interesting people and really a lot of fans.
You missed out on a whole lot. I got to meet people that, like you and I, like I've known for a long time through Facebook, through
Yeah.
social media, and we become great, great friends. And
Yeah.
you feel like you've known them forever, but you never met them in person.
I know, you know,
It
like
was
the
so much
virtual hugs
fun.
and then that kind of deal. But yeah, sí es verdad, sí es verdad.
It was so much fun. I got to see a lot of people that I talked to on social media, and we took so many pictures, and we felt like we already knew each other since forever. It was just
sí,
meeting in
claro.
person that we laughed, and it was so much fun. All the people that took their time to mingle and take pictures, and even people that I never talked to, like some of them were like super awesome and had a great attitude, great spirits. I mean, I met Tony Guerrero from La Sombra backstage, and we
Wow.
took pictures. And I was just like, I just remember, sup, sup, sup. Like when I was little, and we used to be jumping and listening
Yeah,
to that back in the day. I was like, wow, to meet him. And then he goes, we were talking about our fashion, right?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
was super hot, yet we're both with a jacket, and how
Sí,
he
sí,
is.
claro.
And then he goes, I go, yeah, pero la está bien caliente, la sí, yo con la jacket y la pues mira, yo con el vest. Y le digo yo, boss, we have to look good up on stage. And he goes, yeah, us stars do. And you know what? You fit the part. You belong on
Yeah,
stage. And it was so much fun.
sí,
So we had a blast. And then I met Demi Garcia.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, starstruck. I met her, and I met a lot of people. I wanted to meet Sunny Sauceda, and I wanted to meet David Farias. But it was so packed. I even told Shelly, I'm like, I wanted to go see you. But we couldn't get through with the stroller because you know how
Yeah.
we take Eli
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah. Well, of course, Eli's, man. Eli's like your guy's manager.
He's like our bodyguard, like.
He's your bodyguard, you know.
Well, yesterday she was like my bodyguard. We went to McAllen. It was
Yes,
like
I saw
nobody
that.
get close.
You know what? I wish I would have known because yesterday, actually, well, I had some a time in the evening off, and I would have loved to gone and see you over there play because
Well,
it looked like you guys were having fun.
Guys.
No me
I'll
hablas.
be like, instead of me starting the song, I think we need, like, you're gonna come out.
I think we need more bass. That's my line. That's my line.
No, but we had such a great blast. San Antonio received us with such big energy, and
Yeah.
they were so kind. A
The
lot
food
of
was
hugs.
amazing.
Oh yeah,
Oh wow,
So,
cool.
yeah.
No,
No,
no, pues
we
claro.
had a
And then the
blast.
river walk y todo, pues ahí estaba también, ¿verdad?
Oh yeah, we went to perform in the Riverwalk. Then we would get off one stage, and they needed me on another stage, and they needed, like, we were just up and down. The thing I will not repeat is we're in really really high heels and walking from one stage to the other because my girls from Texas, from Tejano to the Bone over in
Yeah, from Dallas, yeah.
they went inside, for Corina inside, and me trajo chanclitas porque
Yeah.
I could not walk for the life of me.
No, te hubieras llevado unos
And
Converse.
I was just like, what in the world? I swear to God, like
Yeah.
it was funny. Pero hey, we try to look the part and we try to, look good for our fans,
Yeah,
because we're not there to be off us. I mean, we're there to
No,
look good.
and you know what? You were rocking it. You really were looking great. I like your outfit. It was really cool.
Thank you.
Yes,
I choose most of my outfits, but I gotta give it to Carlos. You know how he does a little bit of everything? Well, he
Yeah.
also tells me yes, no, what? So it was fun. I had a blast, man. I really did. And then when I was out there, Karina fell in love with my fedora, and so I was like, oh, so I performed with my leopard fedora, so I gave it to her.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I performed with McAllen, and then Bonnie fell in love with my cowboy hat.
Yeah, I saw that with you and Bonnie there.
And yeah, so Bonnie was so sweet, such a sweet person. And we've been besties for years, but we've never met in person. Hey, DJ Fuego. And so I signed over the hat to her. So I was like, oh my God, I want to stay without hats. But it was worth it, man. My bestie gets to wear it now. And so does my sister Karina. She's like my sister. Pero no, we got a lot of love from San Antonio. And we got a lot of love from McAllen. And, we have a lot of places to go to. We've been invited to a lot of concerts to open up for big artists. So we'll see, because, how our schedule's a little crazy. We do have our careers, but we're trying to get out there and meet everybody. And, so.
What's your next big event?
I don't know. We were talking, babe. Where's our next event? Like a big event? We have another one where it's not confirmed, but the one that is confirmed is May 7th. We will be in Houston, Texas, and we are going to be at Cat's Place. Am I right? Yeah. Cat's Place. And I believe it's going to be me. Is it Demi? I think I saw a flyer with my picture in it. I think Demi's coming out too. I think it's like 6 artists in total. I'm not too sure, but it'll be on my Facebook. May 7th, Cat's Place in Houston, Texas for Cinco de Mayo. But we have a lot of things going on. Also, a big shout out to 281 Saloon here in Brownsville. We're coming up with something, a big show for us, and that's just in the works right now. So we'll see what's going to happen with that.
Plus, you know what? I'm going to throw this one out. I want to do a Mother's Day show.
Ándale.
And I want you, and hopefully we'll get some other artists, and then we could do maybe serenatas para mommy or something like that. We'll call it like serenatas for mommy.
Last year we did serenatas. Right, babe? We made people cry. We just woke them up on purpose.
You did them live. Yeah, you did them live.
Yeah, we did some last year. It was pretty fun. Yeah, we went and we were there. Ni modo, levántense, ta, 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 ta.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've gotten several requests. So yeah, let us know what's up. And we'll go with
Yeah,
you.
we'll do that. We'll do a show and maybe talk about a couple of Mother's Day stories or something like that, or honor some of the moms. Of course, you're a
Yeah, and
mom,
you know,
but
I like to do pretty fun things for Mother's Day because my mom's no longer here.
see, see,
I get really sad. So when I do something fun and happy for some other moms, it makes me happy.
see,
Because
see.
the only time I cried last year was once we got to my mother-in-law's house, and I was just like, I was like, oh God, there it goes. Pero, no, yeah, that's a great idea. You're very thoughtful to think of
A ver
Mother's
qué,
Day.
a ver qué. Well, this is something that I did. We did a pretty good
Did
show
you
for
message
the.
our friend by any chance?
Yes, I did, pero no me mandó nada para atrás. So maybe she fell asleep. I don't know.
Aw.
And I have pictures already all set up and the whole
See, why was a ver, was I'm gonna let my niece talk. I'm gonna get my phone and try to see if I can
Ándale.
message her.
Yeah,
But
mándale un message.
tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them how old you are
Tell me
and
how
what
old you
inspires you, and then I'll come back before you say your scariest stories.
Before you go, actually, when we were talking entre los tres, I saw a white thing move like this in front of the camera and then it just disappeared. I was gonna bring it up, but I kept looking at our side of the camera
on
over
my
here on this
side
side.
or
On our side.
ooh.
Over here by the window because it came in from here and then it just went like that and then
It
it
went
stopped right
across.
as soon as it got to you. It just disappeared.
What do you think it was?
I don't know, but I've been paying attention to the camera and I'm
Maybe
like,
it was the light because I was messing with the light.
No, because I saw that you keep
It's not
messing with the light.
Look,
No,
You see the back?
it was
It's
like a small orb about this big and it floated all the way to you and then as soon as it got right here, it just went away. And I kept looking around and I kept watching it. I'm like, that's weird because it didn't happen again. And then you went super laggy and I'm like, whoa, okay.
That
So
is true. Your side went slow.
oh, te
Okay,
digo.
I'm gonna get my phone. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I love how old you are.
So how old are you?
I am 15 turning 16 in May.
You're gonna turn 15?
No, I'm turning 16.
Oh, cool. Also, you're in high school then. What high school are you going to?
I go to Porter High School.
La Porter, yeah, we love Porter. Porter's cool. The Porter
Long
Cowboy.
live the Cowboys.
Long live the Cowboys. Yeah, no, qué bueno, qué bueno. Wow. And so you're already studying to be a barber.
hmm
Yes.
I'm studying to do barbering, to do the nail tech, to do hair, to do makeup, all the
Órale.
good stuff.
And have you cut anybody's hair yet, or I mean, or
I
you studying?
practice I practice on my sister and my grandma,
Uh-huh.
and their cuts usually come out really nice.
See, órale. But have you cut men's hair yet?
Now I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to bleach my partner's hair
Uh-huh.
because I think that would look really nice on him.
Órale. Yeah, because women's hair is different than men's hair, right? I mean, because women's hair, you got so many things you can do, but with guys hair, porque es muy poquito, pues there's certain things that you I don't know, it's just I don't know.
To me,
Pero,
guys' hair is thicker than girls' hair because
see?
our hair is super thin and it's got more natural flow to it. And guys' hair, it's just a little bit more thicker, so it's a little bit harder to work with.
Órale, wow. No, pues sí. I mean, you need to hook up with some barber or some beauty salon and start internship. Start your internship and start working. Because you need to get some experience. Yes, of course at the wherever you're studying. Where are you studying at Derek Porter or do you go to a barber college or what?
Next year, I start going to the CTE building or another building in front of the
By the
zoo.
zoo, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool.
So next year, I'm gonna start going there and I'm gonna start getting hands-on experience because right now I'm learning how to do emails, how to do flyers, how to start websites. So I'm learning all web design and
Órale.
just business in general. Because I
Oh,
was
that's
thinking after I graduate that I start my own business.
There you go. I like the way you're thinking. Eso sí, man. Yeah, we need a lot of young people to have their own business, man, because that's where it's at. That's where it's at. But Ruby, that's where it's at. Eventually, your Ruby's gonna be for just concentrate on just music.
I'm just like weirded out. Like what? Like, and where did it go?
It
You're
went
still thinking about it?
Yeah.
it went inside you. It's floating.
What's weird is that earlier Carlos had brought out a jacket that he got from the thrift store. He's like, "Do you read energies or can you do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can." I just saw it again where it came down.
Wait,
Is
es
that
la
me?
luz
No,
entonces.
it's not you.
No,
I think I'm moving the light
it's the
because
light because
there's a lot of light on.
she just moved the light, so it might be a reflection. It might be a
Maybe.
reflection. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think that's better because it was like just right in our face. But
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, so we're talking, and I didn't
Know all these things that her gift, and so it was just okay. So she starts to tell her first, like your gift and how you got it, or how do just
How
talk
you
to me.
discovered it?
So like I'm sorry, I'm gonna describe this the best that I can.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I believe in past life. I believe that when we die we come back as a different person.
Right, right.
So the life before I had this one, I was somewhere up north in Germany or up that area.
Yeah.
And I just remember falling asleep by a river. And when I
Wow.
woke up, I was in a hospital in a doctor's arms, and I saw my mom and my dad crying as they were holding me. And that's how I started to believe in rebirth and like
Right.
become coming back from the dead. And it all started from there. It all just went uphill. And the way I have it is I can see and feel people's emotions. So if Ruby went stone cold face right now and I held her hand or I just touched her for a little bit, her energy can rub off of mine and I would be able to feel how she's exactly feeling.
Wow.
And another thing I can do is I can speak, hear, and feel the departed. So for example, let's say my tío, he passed on, and I have his hat. There's times when I'm holding it and I cry, not because I'm sad, but because I'm channeling his emotions through his stuff,
Yeah.
and it's super bizarre. It's such a wonderful yet touching feeling to know that you can still contact them and they're still there, that they're resting and that they're happy and they're no longer in pain.
Wow.
So
That,
like the gift is for like good. Yes, there's times when like bad happens, but like I feel like it's better to use it for the better things.
wow. No, no, that's cool because I mean I believe that well we don't know. I mean the afterlife is so. I mean nobody knows. I mean we're gonna get the answers when we die, and then we'll say okay this is what it's all about. But yeah, I mean it's like we're more than what we are. We're more than our shelf. We're more than our skin because we have a spirit, we have an intelligence, and even like when you look at like science fiction movies like Star Trek or even Star Wars, but mainly like Star Trek, you always see like there's some episodes where they encounter aliens that it's just the brain, it's just the spirit, of it, and it's I don't know, it's weird,
Yeah.
we don't know what's out there and or where we came from and all of that. I mean, um, there's all of these things, but yeah, there's I mean, well, a lot of it like I'm sure you heard of deja vu, and I know it happens to me every once in a while, and you like, dude, I've been here before, or I felt this before, and it's like, it happens, it's the so that's weird, or like you meet somebody. This is the
And you
one
feel like you've met them before.
that you've known them forever, man. It's like I mean, there's instant chemistry, but you feel like I don't know. Maybe you were in a relationship before, or maybe you knew each other really well, I don't know, but I mean, it doesn't happen with everybody you meet new, and I love meeting new people all the time, but it just doesn't happen. And then every once in a while, you click with somebody, and but it
It's
just
like you've
feels
known
like
them
you
forever. Like
know them
it feels
forever.
forever.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of feels like you've been missing them all along, and then it's just like a happy time that you came back together with them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, man, this is so cool. Este, so yeah. So tell me what else? What else? What? I mean, do you feel energy like through, like for instance, through me right here? Do you feel anything from me to you like that, or?
There are moments when I do pick up energy from friends off of a phone, or there's energy that transfers through, because the paranormal, they love electricity. They love to use electrons around
Okay,
us. They love to use energy that we produce off of ourselves, the vibes that we give off.
right,
They
right.
love to use that to manifest. So there are times when people do have connections through phones and through electronics, because I feel like it travels. I feel like it travels everywhere
Yes.
around us.
Yeah, because we are energy. We're energy. As a matter of fact, a lot of times, well, that's what we say. Good vibes, bad vibes. That kind of thing. Because we are energy. I mean, I have a friend, and she always just talking about hugging trees and getting back to the roots of nature. Walking barefooted on the grass, and just connecting with nature. And it's the connection with nature. The como dices, the energy, all of a sudden it almost heals you, and the whole thing. Well, it's kind of like when you feel, right, ahorita the COVID and all of this, just being outside and just getting in touch with the sun, letting the sun hit you. You get certain energy from the sun that just purifies you. Yes, also the moon. It's like, I mean, even the civilizations, ancient civilizations, they would do dances to the moon, get dances to the sun, and all that. They were more in tune with the universe than we are now. I think. Yes. So they live. I guess they were more pure as far as health, because they were more in tune with nature. What do you think about that?
I think you're spot on, because I love astrology. I love it with a passion. And you started talking about the moon. I'm like, how did you know I like the moon? How did you know to bring up the moon?
You
It's your
see?
intuition. You're spot on.
No, no, but see, no, pero pues es verdad. It's like, I mean, and then you get this whole thing about astrology, like the zodiac symbols and all that, and okay, they relate. You see them in the stars and the constellations y todo eso, and you know what? A lot of it does make sense, because like when I'm Sagittarius, and you're probably gonna go, oh, okay, I get it, you know, because porque there's certain character traits that certain zodiac signs have, and and then you like that zodiac sign with another zodiac sign. It's weird, but it always works, or it doesn't work. And I mean, you're right. I mean, it's not like it doesn't work with everybody. Not everybody has the same chemistry, especially when you start in a relationship. And with certain ones, it's like, even if you try, como que you can't force it. Pero no sé. I mean, what's your opinion on the whole zodiac deal?
I mean, like how they say Geminis are two-faced. Yeah, I believe that. How they say Aries are like super determined and they're strong-minded. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Because I have a lot of friends who are like that. I have a lot of friends who match up with the way their zodiac describes them. And Cancers are very persistent. Aries are very strong-minded. Pisces, they're very go with the flow.
Yeah.
And Tauruses, they're very bold. So I believe that the zodiac has a lot to do with the gift as well, because
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have to always pick up on names and dates, years.
Yeah.
It's personality that sometimes comes to you when you're connecting with an object, when you're connecting with nature, when
Yeah.
you're connecting with anything, with physical or emotional energy. I feel like that's the first thing you feel, the personality, the feelings, everything.
Wow. that's so cool. That's and it's cool and it's true and it's sometimes you feel like wow, because I mean, you know what? One of these things, Celeste, that I've been saying, and I know I've said it to Ruby. I know I've said it to a whole bunch of my friends since COVID started. We I started the show with a friend Sharky, and yeah, and we're now maybe like 13 months or 14 months into it. Yes, but I've come to the idea that this world is so small because man, I've met people from South America, Mexico, Europe, Montenegro. I mean,
Hmm.
Russia, and it's like we're talking right here, and it's like. Before COVID, that wouldn't be the case. And maybe in some cases, but it really wouldn't be as much as it is now. And I've become good friends, good friends with some people that again I have never met. Without you know Ruby, I've never met, but man, they're across the world, or they're in another country, or whatever, or they're another part of the United States, and it's like it's weird, but hey, I don't know. I guess the energy comes through the internet, and you feel good about them and the whole bit. So yeah. So ¿qué dice? Hey, mira quién está aquí. Hey, Roy, ¿qué dices, Roy? ¿Cómo te va, Roy? How you been, man? Roy does some music behind the scenes.
Ah.
Este, yeah. Well, Roy is an assistant, I guess, producer for West Texas Productions. I think I, they're out of, I guess, I don't know, up north somewhere in Texas. I forget, man. And he's gonna
Well,
kill me
thanks
because I
for
forget.
joining our spooky session today.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's
yeah.
dinner party slash you can eat munchies slash
No makeup.
no makeup,
No makeup.
talking
You,
ghost stories.
you guys don't need makeup. You guys look absolutely great. It's like so.
Okay, so I got a good one that
See,
I
I don't
didn't
have
tell
makeup.
her.
Huh?
Well, you look stunning.
Stunning. Pero no me
So I
miro,
didn't tell
no me
her.
miro de bello como Carlitos. Porque Carlitos
Ay,
a total diva.
Que estás bien bonito y que you're a
Bien
total
dramático.
diva. Porque yo lo que he I don't have makeup on. Dije, pues, you look stunning. Well, not as much as Carlitos. He's laughing. Okay, so I didn't tell her about what I have in this room because since this is my dining room, but right now it's slash we're doing a photo shoot.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
need some for my new for some new stuff that we got going on. Since I have a new sponsor and we're working on another sponsor, so
Yeah.
we're doing some photo shoots here. Anyway, so I have a particular item that I purchased at an antique shop in Green, Texas.
Green is fabulous.
Oh, I love green.
Oh,
So we got this object over there. And so since she says that she picks up on stuff, I was like, well, let's see if we do it right now and see what she thinks. I mean, for all I know, the person's still alive. I don't know, but
yeah, green
let's
is
just,
cool,
let's
man.
just find out.
Old antique stuff,
Tengo
man.
miedo.
I'm
No,
about to. Woo, no, I'm just kidding.
A ver, ¿qué
So
compraste?
I like to look at clothes, right? So I saw this cute one,
Cool,
right?
that's pretty, man.
so I found it. I liked it. I don't know how old it
It's
is.
definitely been worn before.
Yeah, it looks. I've never heard of this brand.
This is yellowish. It used to be white.
So yeah, it's probably it's antique. Even the buttons look worn
Yeah, they're
out,
probably
but
like
it's
bone or
still
something like that.
This looks like the
material from back then. Porque ya no hay esto. Pero anyway,
That's sway, no?
we'll see what she's got.
A ver, ¿qué trae? Come on, Celeste. Give us the ins and out.
So another thing about my gift, and I hadn't mentioned this yet, I pick up dates, names, and feelings. So when I connect with an object, I feel how they felt in their last moments, or I feel how they're currently feeling, and I pick up their emotion. I pick up their name. I pick up their dates, because I don't know, it just happens. And there's times where I just randomly say a name or a number
Yeah, yeah.
or a date, and I know I'm right because I said it one time and my mom looked it up and she's like, she named a soldier from Wisconsin who died a long time ago in World War II, and his name was on a plaque somewhere up there. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that. And I had gotten the dates to a T and I described him perfectly. So let's see what I can find out about this.
All right, all right. You're on, girl.
Let her work.
She's
Wow,
happy. She's really, really happy.
wow. How old is she?
She's around the age 97 to 95.
Wow.
She's about, how tall are you? She's about 5'7", 5'6". She's got a little bit of a hunchback.
Huh.
Just a little bit of a hunchback.
Wow.
She's very, very Western, very Texan.
Yeah.
I see her wearing brown boots and some white jeans and a nice button-up shirt
Was
on
she any
a cowboy
connections?
hat.
Any connections to horses?
Yes, she had a ranch.
What was her favorite flower?
I was just about to say that her favorite flower is a lily.
Oh, wow.
Her favorite color, obviously red. She has a lot of red. She says she's with her husband.
I was thinking, I was thinking of asking you something like that too.
She says she's happy where she's at.
Did she love to dance and sing?
She says she was very much a dancer. That she loved to go to corridas and stuff.
Wow.
What are corridas?
Like dances and stuff.
Yeah, como
She had a
quinceañeras.
horse. Yeah. Her favorite horse. She's telling me the name. She says her name was Jessie
Horses, Jesse.
from Toy Story. She said she named it Jessie after the cowgirl from Toy Story.
Huh.
She's not giving me a name though. I don't know her name. She won't tell me a name.
Wow.
But she's got a really, really big smile. She's so pretty. She's got like she's got a small eyeliner on, a little bit of blush, red lipstick, and neutral color eyeshadow. Like very old style, but still very nice. And
Uh-huh.
her hair is short, so her hair reaches about here, and it's a little curly.
Yeah. Okay.
And she's wearing a red hat.
And like this is like when back in the when she would wear this, or
Mhm.
was this like
Back in when she would wear this. She's
and then
telling me what she would wear with this. So she's saying she would wear a red hat, and she had some nice brownish boots, and she had black blue jeans, and
Huh.
she had a really nice black shirt that would go with this, and a belt that was like a horseshoe, and it had diamonds in it, like it was bedazzled a little.
Órale.
And she had earrings. She had really pretty earrings. She had rose earrings.
and it's weird because earlier I had when she just told me about it, I took out and I didn't tell her whose it was, but it was my mom's purse, like the last thing that I got when she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I put it in a plastic bag to reserve the smell,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
my mom's smell. And so I hadn't taken it out, and I brought it to her and I said, "What do you pick up on it?" But she couldn't read it. She's like, "No, she's not letting me talk to her. She just that she's happy where she was at, and she told me what she had to, and she didn't want to be."
Órale. Wow.
She apparently had 2 kids. The oldest is a daughter, and the youngest is a boy.
Where did she live?
So,
Like, was she here in Texas, or I mean, obviously probably around the central Texas, somewhere in there. Around the
She
San
says she
Antonio
was
area.
around. She says she was around Harlingen and a mix of Los Fresnos.
Órale.
She so yeah.
I wonder how they got.
How it got here.
Well, that one I got it in green.
Yeah, how did it get to
At their
green?
antique shop, they have a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah,
Carlos
and
has some
a lot of
other-
times people go and they visit and they take stuff and they'll sell it. It's like so.
Mhm.
Wow.
Have you washed it?
No, it's just the way I got it. Because that material is so delicate, you don't want to like.
Remember
Yeah.
when I mentioned white hair? White curly hair?
Mhm.
I just found a little white curly hair right here. There's
Wow.
little white curly hairs in it.
Yeah, I haven't washed it. As soon as we got it, I just like took it out of the bag and I hung it there.
Wow.
Wow.
There's a
Yeah.
few dirt manchas aquí.
Yeah.
And she's telling me that's from when she fell off of a horse one time wearing this.
Wow. And it still has the tag. Show them the tag. It still has the tag from when I got it at the antique shop.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. I can't really see it, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a pretty fine.
It says Lana French red leather ladies jacket.
Oh,
Pero
that's
sí,
cool.
That place has a lot of stuff. I bought
Póntelo,
years
Ruby.
ago, but
Put it on.
no. Ahora no esperar.
Le dio miedo.
it's weird putting it on. But it's really weird, like to hear your stories like that.
Wow.
I just saw something.
I just saw something pass by. I saw a ghost pass by.
Yeah, I saw Dark Shadow. Pero
Era un
I don't know. I
bigotón.
think his name is Carlos. Pero what was I gonna say?
Tell him about, share with him some of the stories that you were telling us that have happened.
A Chile, yeah. I have a story about La Llorona.
Okay, tell me about La Llorona.
But Royal, are you by yourself?
You're gonna be scared. Okay?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. I'm secure. Ooh.
So I live close by El Puente Viejo,
Okay.
and growing up there, I always heard stories from my grandma saying immigrants would walk by down the streets and my great grandma would give them food, and some of them would stay in the house for a little bit. And my grandma, I asked her, "What about La Llorona? Did she ever cross by?" And she's like, "Many of times. Your dad got to see her. I got to hear her." And I'm like, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No te creo." And I was sitting outside one night talking to one of my friends on my phone when I started hearing all the dogs growling and howling. So I'm like, "What's that sound?" So I get up and I go to the driveway to see what's going on. And at the very end of the street, there's a stop sign with 2 houses.
Yeah.
I see a lady in a white dress walking. As she stops halfway there in the middle of the road, she looks down the road. And I see where she starts stepping, and I can hear a blood-curdling scream when she starts saying, "Mis hijos, ¿dónde están mis hijos?" And I ran inside crying. I'm like, "Grandma, Grandma, I believe you now. I'm so sorry, Grandma." And she's like, "Ándale. Se te apareció because you were saying that it's not true." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
I'm glad I don't have that gift because I don't know what I would do. I'd probably be freaking out if I were to.
Most people do. Most people can't handle it, and they
Really?
Sí, pues
know, it's
imagínate
too
que
scary.
you can feel stuff.
Okay, you want the cup? Look.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's,
Eli is still awake.
ya hiciste. Ya hiciste este mugrero.
Es una vaquita que se le cayó de plástico, pero I can't see the comments, so I don't know if people are enjoying our scary night.
Well, dice Hilda, well, she's going at night, but she's saying, "You scared me."
I've had
realistic dreams that look like
it feels like it's real. Like
Uh-huh. Yeah.
when I had one that, well, I don't know. I'll share it, but it's just kind of weird. I used to have this girl that just didn't like me for the life of her. She just didn't like me. So one day, and I had heard stories that she did voodoo, that she did this, she did that, whatever. And people that she didn't like, they would take it, amanecían y habían cosas afuera de su casa and stuff like that. So this girl ends up moving several houses from my house on purpose. I'm like, girl, what the hell, right? Anyway, that's not the point is, I'm really good at brushing stuff off. It would bother me. But that night, I don't know why, I was home alone, and I dreamed that she was literally like in her witch mode, and she was like coming up the stairs, but like floating,
I was gonna say, yeah, it's floating.
like kind of like in the movies, like floating, and that the door opened to my room. She went up, took her me and my because it was me and my little dog on the bed, and that she goes up to my room, and she's like all like como se dice bruja, right?
Yeah.
So me, I'm scared out of my mind, but I'm more scared for my puppy. Todavía eso, I think about my dog. I
Yeah.
grab my dog and I'm just praying and like ordering her to leave, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what made me get up. I grab my dog, like now I'm awake, right? And I'm like, oh, like it feels so real. I went to my daughter's room. I grabbed the rosary. I grabbed my Bible, her Bible, and I went to my room. I put the rosary on. I'm praying. I go to sleep with the Bible. I got my dog,
Yeah.
and I was just freaking out. Like I was just like, what in the world happened? Um, I don't know why I dreamed that. That's like the most realistic dream I've ever had. Um, I don't know if it has anything to do with it being real or it was just a coincidence, that I did
Yeah.
that, but it's just I don't know. And but in real life, things that have happened to me that have been weird. Um, when my mom passed away, here in my house has been blessed and it's also been cleansed with sage. But nothing's ever happened other than I got home from work, went to my room, took off my gear, and I had my dog and my cat on the bed, right? Because when they had their own room, but when I would get home, they would go to my room with me. And all of a sudden in the kitchen, I hear like they open a cabinet and they're looking through the spoons and the forks and all that. Like you hear like a rattling, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what was that? So I go to the kitchen, and sure enough, it's open where the
spoons and stuff is. So what I just did, it didn't scare me. So I just like closed it and I just blew it off, like whatever, because you shouldn't think too much about it.
Right.
But then I think like, what if it was my mom or something? I don't know. And then my viejito says that my mom used to come look for him and tell him to go with her, and that he'd be like, no estoy listo, and he'd get mad at her like, vete tú, yo no me voy ahorita, and stuff like that. And one time I found their picture, like a picture of them in a frame, broken.
And it happened twice in his room. And I don't think he had the energy to get up and break it himself. So
Maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know.
I think I sometimes want to say everything's a coincidence because I don't want to be all scared.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else is happening to me? Oh, at the PD. At the sophomore center.
At Sophomore Center PD?
Yeah, because you know how we have the main station on
Yeah,
Jackson, and then
Yeah,
we have
over
the
there, right
website
on-
on 281.
Yeah.
And then we have one on Southmost by the HEB.
Yeah, by the HEB.
Okay, well, that one, when they assigned me to work there back in 2017, the first day they gave me my keys to the building, right? To get in and out of the building. And then
That day, I don't know, I was starting to fix my desk area, my cubby right there. And then all of a sudden they gave me my keys, they gave me some like candy.
and the candy, I decided to put it away, right?
Yeah.
It was like a chocolate bar, no recuerdo. And I put it in one of my cajones, right?
And I'm cleaning whatever. I'm like, where the
Hell are my keys? And where are my keys? And I was like, oh my God, they just assigned me and I lost my keys. So I didn't want to tell the lieutenant. And I was like, shit. So I had to go tell him. And I'm like, hey, OT, this and that, right? Like, and he's like, okay, well, the good thing there was a camera right above my desk.
Wow.
And what would happen was, and by this time, everybody knows that the place is haunted, right? There's a little girl named Monica, and I don't know if you've heard of Monica's house.
No.
That's where they take the kids that have been assaulted, whether it's been just like physical assault or sexual assault
Right.
or verbal, or they've been just,
Yeah, mess
when
with.
we file reports, we, instead of an officer asking them questions and traumatizing them,
Yeah.
what we do is when we go to a call, real quick, when we go to a call and it's like something like that with a child, I'll ask like, you tell me whatever you want to tell me because I can't ask you detailed questions.
Right.
So whatever you really want to tell me, you need to tell me because I can't ask you. So remember that. And if there's something that you don't want to tell me, that's okay because we send them there. In Monica's house, if there's a recording and a counselor goes in and we tell the counselor what to ask, they ask
Yeah.
the child, and it's a very comfortable setting.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. So when the recording goes to court, that way they don't have to be asking questions to
Right,
the
right,
child,
right.
traumatizing them for the future. Anyway, long story short, that place was named after this little girl that was supposedly taken back in 1995 or so when they opened the building. And she was beat up so bad by her parents, and the parents carried her, took her there to the Sophomore Center, asking for help. I don't know. Back in '95, I was still in school. I don't know what really happened. Um, I think I was like in high school, so I don't know what happened. No,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I wasn't. I was in junior high, so I wasn't there. But story is that the parents went in. I don't know if she was already deceased at this point. They were asking for help for her, or she died there while they were waiting for EMS.
Wow.
Did she have black hair?
I've never seen her, but she was a little girl. So they're saying that Sophomore Center's haunted by her.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to the candy situation. So I put the candy in the thing, whatever. So the lieutenant goes in there. Hey, Sharky. The lieutenant
Saki.
goes, looks at the camera that's above my desk. And then you know how it goes by seconds? Well,
Yeah.
you see the keys. I leave them on this side because the desk is like an L. And I'm here, I leave the keys and I turn and the computer's turning, the desk is like, all of a sudden the keys are there. The keys are not there. And we're like, what the hell? So he's like, so he goes straight to the bottom of that section, están los cajones.
Yeah.
So he goes like this, and you can hear keys inside, and the cajon is locked. It's three boxes, right? Three
Right.
drawers. They're locked. And we're like, how the hell can they be locked if the key to lock them was attached to those keys?
Right.
I was like, what? So anyway, so we were trying to call a locksmith, whatever. So then I remember to have this a thing where it has a bunch of like little knives and stuff. So we inserted one in there. We popped it open. Sure enough, the first drawer had where the candy was. The keys were there. So the guys were like, "You pissed her off because you put the candy away, and she likes candy, and you need to leave the candy out." For the next, I worked there for like 2 years. I always left candy outside. I never did that again. But that's not the scariest thing that happened to me there.
Oh my God.
On Saturdays, I would work there, right? And it would just be me and another officer. Well, this one time, it was just me by myself. I opened the building. Besides one time seeing a little mouse and maybe a roach that scared the life out of me.
Right.
Because I hate roaches. I can deal with rats. I hate roaches. Anyway, so this time I go in, I'm by myself, and I always, we've got different feedback back then.
Right.
When I started, I don't know, the guys were just shit sticks, but they'd be like, you have to say, hey, good morning, Monica. Good night, Monica, whatever, when you're leaving the plane. So then after that shit with the keys and all that, then I was told, maybe you shouldn't say hi to her, maybe you shouldn't call her at all. So anyway, so this time I walk in, and where the sergeant says, okay, so all I hear is, ringer, ringer, ringer. Like, a chair, going like that. So we have municipal court, a small office for them, right? Where people go pay their taxes and get their license plates.
Right.
Well, all you hear is a chair, right? Coming from that office that's locked and nobody's in there. And you can literally see that nobody's in there because there's a big window, right? So you're like, dang, okay, whatever, I blow it off. I'm gonna go to my desk way in the back because we have a different, like a door through that for the officers in the back.
Right.
You have to go through the sergeant's office. So right before I go to where the sergeant's office is, I'm like maybe 6, 7 feet away from his office. Todavía, I'm barely
Wow.
walking the little hall, and all of a sudden he has this thing taped to the window. It's like a plastic, and inside that plastic that's taped to the window, you can put folders or whatever when they're not around. I don't know if you've seen them in
Yeah,
offices or whatever. This thing, like, it just didn't like, oh, se despegó y se cayó. Freaking like flies. And I'm like, deuces, I am out. So I called my daughter, let's go have breakfast, right? Because I was the only one working that day. Then later, I'm like, hey, can you go with me to the office? You know, I need to finish some things. I'm going to be there for the remainder of the day. And she stuck with me, but we heard it when we went back. And then we kind of just blew it off and started cleaning around the area and working on this project. And yeah, we forgot about it. It stopped, but a lot of weird stuff happened in that place. And
wow.
I don't know. It's just scary, pero she has more stuff that, you know.
I have a question for you. What is your scariest graveyard shift? Like, what is the scariest thing you've done on a graveyard shift?
Okay, I've told people this story. I don't know if I've told you what
Cemetery.
story that happened to. No. And I've been there. Okay. Yeah, puppy. One time we were working graveyard shift and they needed backup on the west side. I usually work the east side of town. So this one house, we get there. It's supposedly there was a burglary in progress. The owners of the house showed up and they kept hearing, I think like footsteps on the roof. And they said somebody's in our house, right? Okay, that's not the scary part. So we get there, it's me and another officer, and then some other officers show up, and then they start just like driving around the area. Some officers get there, walk around the house. So me and the other officer are inside clearing the house. We get to this one room. There was a shrine
Of the D person, all red. If you have
what I'm talking about. So I'm like, what in the world? I've seen shrines of like La Santa Muerte, you know, I've seen shrines like that, right? I've never seen a shrine to this person, right? Or this thing, or whatever you want to call him, the D person. I've never seen a shrine to him, but everything, red curtains, red candles, red, you name it.
El Diablo?
¿Eh?
El Diablo? A shrine to El
Sí.
Diablo?
Y yo no me quedé,
Oh Lord, right? So me and the officer look at each other. We clear that room. We clear all the rooms, and all of a sudden you hear on the roof, real running like what's it? So the officers are outside trying to look at the roof. There's nothing there. So the officers, maybe he ran into the alley. So they start checking the alley. I mean, we have the whole department that's working during that shift out there, and they can't find nothing outside. So they're like, so we keep hearing it. So they're like, oh shit, maybe they're in the attic. They're inside. I'm outside, right? Like I ain't gonna be inside after I saw that shrine. So then other officers go up to the attic. Nothing's there. Nothing's in the attic. Nothing's on the roof, and they could still hear that shit. So I was like, oh hell no! Everybody's looking down the alley. Everybody's looking everywhere, and they tell the officers in the alley and outside, no guys, you can still hear the footsteps of someone running, and these officers are inside the house. So we're like, oh hell no, I'm leaving. And you know, we don't know what it was. We don't know if it was even human. But
it wasn't ratas or tacuaches.
Hell no, it was like somebody running. I'll tell you one. You remember the old Valley Regional on 802? That's
Yes. Coffee court.
Yeah. So back in the day, when I was a rookie cop, back in the day, the officers told me, hey, during Halloween, and this is the time that Valley Regional is all shut down. They had numerous security guards always quitting, and it was boarded up. It was nothing but just a closed down hospital. Anyway, long story short, these officers go out there on Halloween night because at the ER there's several kids outside. They were from Rivera, and they went to go explore for Halloween. Well, the officers start telling them, hey, ¿por qué están aquí? Que no sé qué. They were by the ER area. Well, the other officer's interviewing them. The other officer goes by the windows. You know how the windows are up and down, and then there's space, and they're narrow but long. Well, he says that he's like looking on the ground through the grass with his flashlight, seeing if he saw any like buds, any marijuana, something, right? So he's looking down and he'll shine the light at the window every now and then. With this one window, this is a story that was told to me, guys. I don't know. He says he glances up and he sees a girl with nasty hair, like a gown,
A gown, yeah.
looking outside. And then he's like, all right, no. Which one of you is inside? Which one of your friends is inside? Just like da 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 da. No, sir, nomás somos nosotros. No, que cuál de ustedes, que no sé qué. Sir, honestly, sir, it just says we couldn't find a way to get in. We were trying to get into the yard, but we couldn't. So then he goes up to the other officer. Anyway, we need to get the F out of here. And then after they told me that story, I was like, oh, hell no. So then, talking a couple years later, we had an alarm. And this is before they opened the East Campus. There was an alarm. And if we go to an alarm, if everything's secure, there's no broken windows, no open doors or windows or broken anything. Everything's just secure. We just a false alarm and we go back in service.
Yeah.
But if there's something open or damaged or something, you
gotta investigate. Yeah.
Thank God that day I was not working, and they told me, "Hey, you're lucky you didn't come in that day that you were off because there was no open window." The whole east side of town officers that were working had to go into the building because it was huge, and that they said a bunch of crap was happening inside. I was like, "Oh, gracias a Dios, you know, free." Then move forward. It's the East Campus. I had to go drop off a patient. The front doors were moving. They were not in sync, and they were moving like if somebody's walking in and out of the building. And the security guard that was at the front desk was like, "That this place is haunted." Like that. All of a sudden, you see the door open. So I thought it was me because I was like right in front of his desk, and then the doors were behind me. So I said, "You know how sometimes the sensors mess up?" So I had to wait for the paperwork for this other guy that I brought, right? So me siento, ya, now I'm not even in front of the door anymore. I'm like on the side sitting on a sofa. The freaking doors move like the outside, then the inside. Like somebody was walking in. I was like,
Wow.
okay. Got my paperwork and I left. But I could tell you this much, that those places are haunted. I don't know.
Damn,
But what's the most scariest thing that's happened to you, Royal?
I don't know. Maybe I guess dreams. You know, like when I've dreamed that maybe I was getting beat up or kind of killed, or that I had to wrestle for my life. You know, I've had dreams like that. I think that's probably about the scariest. You know, like when you feel like you can't move, like you're paralyzed, and you know, and the thing that happens is that I feel like I know I'm in a dream, and so then if I wake up, it's over because you know, intelligence is okay. You're only dreaming, you know, but then you can't wake up because you're still fighting whatever you're fighting, and it's like I've had dreams like that. Huh?
Have you ever heard about what that is? Because I could tell you a little bit what you're saying. I've heard of it. I watched too many movies.
Yeah. I don't know. I think at one point I did, but I don't know. I've forgotten. But I don't know. I'm sure there's interpretation for every single dream out there. You know.
No, but that one is not a dream though. Like the one where there's babe,
Which is the one where they're holding you down and you're paralysis. Can you tell him about it?
Dale, Carlitos.
Ven, te está hablando.
that it's a demon or it's a dark entity
And
that
it holds you
That
down.
crawls on top of you and is holding you down. And you feel, yeah, you can't move, you can't wake up, you can't shout, and you feel like you're trying to shout.
Yeah.
I've had it before.
That's happened to me too.
Yeah.
And you're trying to call somebody and you just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, nobody has questions. Nobody. For the people that are watching, anybody want to say what's your scariest? I don't know. You're like deuces. You don't want to talk about it. But
Some chickens.
What stuff happens?
No.
I haven't experienced anything. Like I want to thank God because I have not seen anything and I don't want to see anything. Pero sí me han pasado like strange little things. I want to say are always coincidences, but people have gifts some people have
Yeah.
gifts, and I don't know. Like she was telling me a lot of stories earlier, and I was just like, oh, it was so like kind of scary. What's the
No,
scariest
but
thing that's ever happened to
The
you?
scariest thing that's ever happened to me. Okay, so I have a tia who loves to do the tarot readings. So I'm like, you
that
know
is
what?
awesome.
So I'm like, you know what? Can you do me a reading on my love life? And she's like, yeah, sure. And she's doing it. And she's like, this isn't a love life. It's a general. I'm like, okay. And we're reading and we're reading. And she's like, this isn't you, Gali. I'm like, huh? She's like, this one isn't for you. I'm like, okay. And I hear footsteps in the hallway, like somebody stomping. And we all look over because it's my kitchen. Because when you walk in through the front door, it's the living room, and then you can see into the kitchen because it's a all together.
Yeah.
And then it's the wash over here with a small wall, and then it's a long hallway with my room at the end and the restroom right here on the side. We saw somebody come out from the restroom and walk all along, stop mid hallway, look at all of us, and then she went into my mom's room, and my sister was in my mom's room. And I'm like, somebody's in the hallway. I'm gonna channel them. And my mom's like, no, 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 no. And my tia's like, I'll do this. Next thing I know, my tia's throwing up in the sink uncontrollably, and she's throwing up air at this point,
Wow.
and we're all freaking out. And I get up, and I'm behind my mom, and she's like, she went into the attic. She climbed up into the attic. I'm like, ooh, okay. So my mom, she's like, Gali, vente conmigo. I'm like, okay. Inside the attic, it's really, really hot. There's a bunch of dead spiders and dead roaches, and I
Yeah.
think a few dead rats. And we went up there, and it smelled horrible,
Yeah.
like worse than what we're normally smelling up there. Like it smelled horrible. We're up there, and my mom's saying a Hail Mary and a few Our Fathers, and something gets thrown at us because we have a bunch of stuffed toys up there from when I was a baby. One of my toys came flying at us, and my mom's like, "Gali, go back to the kitchen." I'm like, "Okay." Next thing I know, I hear my mom screaming, and I hear coming from the attic. I'm like, I hear coming from the attic, and I'm freaking out. And my tia's like, nobody leave the house. We can't open the doors. We can't do anything because it'll let more stuff in. And hearing this, I was freaking out more, and I started crying. And after a few hours, everything calmed down. Like, is it gone? Is everything done? And she's like, it's gone, but it'll come back. After that, I freaked out. I covered my windows with blankets. I covered all my mirrors. I always had the lights on after that. To this day, I have Christmas lights with the battery pack. I tape them to my wall. So at night, I have a TV in my room, and when I don't want to sleep with the TV on, I just turn on the lights and I me quedo dormida.
Sí.
After that day where we heard all of that, I woke up with 3 scratch marks right here, and I woke up with an upside down cross scratch right here on my forehead. And my mom saw that, and she's like, it's trying to attach itself to you. It's an inhuman spirit. So we went to La Inmaculada, and I talked to a priest, and um, they made me do the whole baptism thing again. And I wasn't rebaptized. I still have the same godparents, but they did like an exorcism on me.
Right.
And they're like, whatever had attached itself to you was already getting ready to the point where it's going to start possession. Because it already got past the first phase, which
Right.
was it wanting to notice that it's there. You're lucky you guys came when you came, because if you had waited at least a few more days or at least 2 more days, you would have been like gone.
What's this? Wow.
And I've
That's
never been able to live that down.
that's freaky, man. It's like, ooh. And it's weird, things like that happen, but it's, wow. Yeah. Celeste. Celeste, wow. Oh, Celeste, it's great meeting you, man. I think you're awesome. Uh, so cool, man. Man, we've been already talking for an hour and 19 minutes.
I know. How did we get past that?
I don't know. Was it
I've always wanted to ask about the Casa de Colores. What was the story behind it? Like, why is it so haunted?
Casa de
The Casa.
Colores? Where's that at?
Have you heard of it? Okay,
Casa de Colores is
towards the outskirts of Southmost. It is right now. If you want to go on a
trail. There's a
Is
nice
it
trail
over
out there. It's very
by
natural.
Palm Grove? By Palm Grove?
Yes.
Okay.
past Palm Grove, it's off of some, ¿cómo se llama? The street
Minnesota or something like that, or
past Southmost. No, before Southmost.
Palmview?
No, some.
no Palmview Town Harley.
No. It starts with an S, no? Sable Palms. So
Yeah.
you're going down south.
Yeah, there's that's past the stripes and all of that on the right.
Yeah. So you go down Southmost, the actual Southmost Road, past McDonald's, churches, and you go all the way past the schools. You pass the last school, which is Palm Grove.
And there's the stripes there.
Past the stripes, it's on the right-hand side.
Right.
It's called Sable Palms.
Right. And you turn to the right.
You go into that street. It's a dirt road. You go all the way. Then you see the wall, the famous wall. But this is still considered the U.S. So you cross the border, the wall, and there's a gate. So if it's open for business. You go down there. I've gone there even past business hours for an alarm. Border Patrol, or so I don't remember who opened it that time, the gates. But we went out there. The house is literally right next to the levee, next to the river.
Wow.
So sometimes you'll get those illegals that cross, and we'll go out there because they set up the alarm. But the place is like, it's haunted. Like, it's a house from the 1800s. Supposedly, I don't know the story behind it or why it's called the Casa de Colores. The myth that I've heard is that every room upstairs is a different color.
It was a slave house.
And Carlos says that it was a slave house that was called Casa de Colores.
Yeah.
I heard that it was called Casa de Colores because every room was a different color. I don't know that.
Oh yeah, because I heard that in the basement there were chains on the wall where they would hold the.
I don't know.
sleeves.
When you go in,
You purchase your ticket, and you only have access to see the living room. The upstairs is, you can't go there. And if there's like a basement, I don't remember what time that I checked when the alarm went off. I don't remember because there's parts that are like sectioned off.
Right.
It's like a museum. You can't go into it.
Wow.
What I do is checking the whole premises, whatever. I check this back house. Hi, Daddy. And but honestly, I don't know what it's called that. I know that it is haunted.
When you go to the basement, they have the chains where they will keep the slaves.
That's what I was just saying.
Well, I don't know because I've never been to the basement.
I want to go.
Supposedly there's a basement and there's chains. I don't know if that's true. But there is people can actually go out there and they purchase their ticket and they get to go on this long, big trail. Make sure you take off. I've been to it once. Make sure you don't put on makeup and you pick up your hair because it was awful. I wasn't prepared for that. But yeah, that house is haunted. It is. I don't know the actual details. I could find out for another minute. Dice Carlos que sale la migra, que eso asusta también.
Es la migra.
Pero anyway, yeah, there's a lot of theories behind a lot of places like Camp Lulu
Camp Lulu is abandoned, right? Or did they do
They say
something
that they
to it?
bought it, but
supposedly that's a different story.
Yeah, I don't know what they.
Can't wait for a haunted idea.
Well, that used to be Camp Lulu, and then BISD bought it or something like that, and they used to use it.
Carlos says it was a myth. Camp Lulu is supposedly that back in the 70s that there was a all-girls camp and a counselor went crazy and killed a bunch of girls, and then it was closed for so long and people would go sneak in and jump the fence just to go see what it was. And I remember some of my friends did that. I was too scared to go in.
Well, that used to belong to the church, or the church used to be able to use it for retreats. For retreats.
But I know it was closed for a long time. And I remember now as a cop,
I remember they said there was a guy out there people that trespass who come out with their shotgun, so a lot of people had to be careful. They were calling, "There's a man with a shotgun." Well, you shouldn't be there to begin with, you know. But now I heard idea about it. I don't know what the scoop is on that.
The one that's good is the Luca Ranch.
Where's that?
Yeah, have you heard of the Toluca Ranch?
No, where's that at?
Okay, during Halloween, they have the Toluca Ranch. It's by Progreso, like by the bridge, kind of like going that way. It's a long ways in también. It's also a house that was built what 1600s, 1800s, ya ni sé. But inside that property is not just the house. There's a graveyard and a church.
Yeah.
Some of the first settlers.
And I remember.
But probably a chapel. Probably a chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times during the Spaniards, they used to have like the hacienda, and then they would have their church or their chapel, you know, because they would have it all enclosed in their property, and so yeah, that makes sense. That
And
makes
my
sense.
cousin told me, Eli's running around. My cousin told me that her husband, because he does construction, so they were called out with his business to go remodel it because the owner was gonna make it into a haunted house. You're getting an old house that's probably already haunted.
Yeah.
Not too bad. And you're gonna remodel it because you're gonna do a haunted house for Halloween there. So for Halloween we go out there, and I'm there with my daughter and my nieces and whatever. So you go in as a group or whoever you want to go in with you, right? So first the girls are like, no, okay, we'll go in first. So I go in the back. We go in, da 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 da. Every room had like something scary. But then in one of the rooms, I remember that it was like a little man running around and scared the life out of my daughter. So my daughter gets behind me, my niece gets behind me. And I think mother mode kicked in because I just got mad because he scared him. And I was like, oh, you better get away, right? And I was no longer scared. Then I went to the other rooms and they had one. I don't know how they made it to where the girl was elevated in bed.
Levitating?
Levitated, elevated, whatever. Did you get me? And then there was a room that was just kind of freaking creepy because olía, you could smell fresh blood. There was a cabeza de marrano.
Wow.
There. Like, they really wanted to go all out. And I was just like, oh, hell no, I'm getting out of here. Like, this is just like, now it's just not scary. It's freaking creepy that you have, like, blood, actual blood, like the smell of it. Like, oh, I hate gruesome movies. I hate gruesome anything.
Wait, so it's called strong like iron? Or was it pig's blood?
I want to say it was like pig's blood. It wasn't used because it was a pig's head. Pero olía tan feo. Like, ugh. So we got out of there. And, but my cousin was saying that while her husband was there to do the construction, a bunch of weird stuff was happening to them. That it's haunted. And so, how do you know what's real when you're going to a haunted house for Halloween? And
I know, right?
How do you know what's real or what's part of the haunted house? You know?
My worst fear about that would be like somebody who's not part of the crew comes out y te asusta. And you tell them, they're like, hey, this dude was really good. And they're like, that wasn't one of us.
That was, we don't know him. I don't know. That's weird. That's like what happened to me in San Antonio Factor. I told you the room that we were in was haunted. Or we want to say it was haunted. I don't know.
Where did you stay?
We stayed at La Quinta across Spanish Fair, Market Square, and we were in room 222. And for the first one to notice something happening was my in-laws. While I was performing, they went back to the room, and I had left my jewelry box, but yo la escondo, right? Carlos had left his bag on the floor, and when they came in, they found my jewelry box on the bed with the thing. The radio was full, like blast, but like shh, like that. And they could smell a perfume, and it wasn't mine or hers.
Wow.
So then they say that we don't know if it's a coincidence that a girl knocked on the door. They opened the door, and it was like the housekeeping, right? She was in the apartment. So then I call for desk, and I'm like, okay, I'm not accusing y'all of anything because nothing's missing, right? My jewelry box ain't even open. Only Carlos's bag was open, but nothing was missing. The radio was on, there's a strange scent, but the coincidence was that housekeeping girl knocked on the door,
Right.
and when my father-in-law opened it, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that anybody was in here," and then she freaked out and she left. So the guy, the guy at the front desk who I called was like, "Ma'am, we don't have any housekeeping after like noontime." I was like, "What the hell?" Right? He's like, "Well, some security out there just in case there's a weirdo, pretending to be housekeeping." But that was weird. So the next day I told the girl, because we were missing towels or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then I told her what happened, and then she was just like, "We don't have housekeeping at that time." And then she's like, "The girl that takes care of the housekeeping in that area looks like this and has green hair." And obviously, si tiene pelo verde, pues it's obvious you can tell.
Yeah,
who they
you're
are.
gonna know.
Like, no, this chick was like this, and this, and was brunette. Like, no, we don't have anybody that looks like that, but we'll keep security there and let us know if you find anyone on premises. Especially at that time, and it was late because we were at Backers, so it was already like late in the afternoon, like maybe, well, not late, but it was past noontime, so it was like maybe between 3 and 6.
Right.
So yeah, that happened to us. And then at
Y
the
luego
end
que
of
te
the
dicen,
morning,
man, there's no room 222.
shit, cállate. No, and then at the Emily Morgan Hotel in San Antonio, that's the third most haunted hotel in the U.S. We've stayed there.
The Emily
Carlos
Hotel?
went up the Emily Morgan Hotel. It's across the Alamo.
Uh-huh.
And that one, if you look it up, the Emily Morgan Hotel, it'll say there, the third most haunted hotel in the U.S.
Wow.
And that hotel used to be a hospital at one time. Carlos and his dad went exploring. I was exhausted. They said that once they reached like the tallest floor, like the highest floor, that when they got off the elevator, it smelled like hospital. Como huele un
Wow.
hospital, the
Yeah,
operating room, like that. And a lot of what did you say it smelled like? Not ammonia, but what? The hospital? I mean, soufre?
Sulfur.
Sulfur?
Yeah, it smells like that.
Like dead.
Mm.
Anyway, and then they said that because Carlos told me about it, so in the morning, I'm like, well, I want to go see it. It's true, right? When we went, he's like, you couldn't smell it anymore. He's like, it smelled like this last night. Let's say, I know, I'm telling you what I'm telling you. And super clean when we went. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, you were half asleep and you didn't want to go. But you see, we heard something like in the restroom area, and they have these double doors that close. And it's glass, but it's that glass, like you can see a shadow inside, but you can't see what they're doing. Just like it's changing. You can't see, but you can see somebody's in there. We heard something, and I thought I saw something.
Wow.
So we left our phones on against the dresser to our beds, right? Para see what we record during the night. When we saw it in the morning, it was like we turned it on, we walked to the room, and it turned off on its own at the same time. Both phones, the same
Wow.
thing. But,
Amazing.
I don't know. We'll have more stories next time because it's.
I know, right?
We don't
Yeah.
want to scare you.
It's scary. No. It's fun, man. This is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting, especially what Celeste was saying about her ability, and it's like that is pretty cool. I mean, I liked it when you read the jacket, and it's like we had a connection.
And just about when you were talking about the jacket too.
Yeah, right.
You froze, Royal, when you were talking about the jacket. I think it's a coincidence you're wearing a red shirt too.
Huh?
Te quiere.
It's a
Te quiere.
coincidence you're also wearing a red shirt.
My girlfriend was wearing a red shirt. Okay, sis.
No, okay, it's a coincidence that that you're also wearing a red shirt, the same color of the jacket I put.
Oh, well,
And her favorite color.
it's
And
orange,
it goes
but yeah, I guess it
the
comes out
lady's
through red.
favorite color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was I don't know the comments that came out, but hopefully people enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, we'll see it on the replay, hopefully. No, but see, that's about an hour and a half. Let's give it a rest, so that people can see it on the replay. So, Les, it was great that you came on, man. That was, I would love to have you on another show again. That'd be really cool.
Love to come back.
Spooky night or whatever, man. I mean, it seems like you got your head on your shoulders set up right, and I think you're going in a good direction. And I wish you a lot of luck in your future and much success, because I think you're you seem like a very bright young lady, man. So, man, super cool, man. Super proud of you. Hey, look at Oscar. Here comes Oscar. Case Oscar. Great scary show, guys. Hope I can see.
I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna sleep either.
I'm gonna sleep like a baby. I'm gonna be fine.
She's like, I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
Yo no, yo voy a estar con mi perro en
Carlos,
Tapada hasta la cabeza.
Sí, no.
I'll probably be like, can we sleep with the TV on?
Ay, ay, ay. No, pues está bueno. Pues cool, man. See what happens. So, Ruby, hey, let's invite our special. Let's talk about our special guest, and maybe we could do it next Sunday or something.
Sure. What do you think?
I think that'd be cool if we could hook her up right for next Sunday.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I'll
you-
talk to her. Do you want me to say who it is, or you want us to wait to see if she says yes first?
Yeah, let's wait till. I mean, let's hook up tomorrow or Tuesday, and let's schedule it, man. That way we can stop
Yeah, she's
promoting.
probably fell asleep for the midnight show. So.
I'm gonna scratch my windows.
Oh my god, it is scary when you hear stuff and you're like, and then it's the ice machine in the refrigerator. Okay, who? That's happened to everybody, I think. Like, you're there.
I had an ice machine that stopped working, and at night we would be when we first got it, we weren't used to it. So at night we would hear where the ice would fall off from where it had it how it made. And we're like, Mom, somebody's in the kitchen, somebody's in the kitchen, somebody's in the kitchen. And she'd go up front and she'd be like, nobody's in the kitchen, it's the ice machine.
Yeah, that happens to us a lot. That ice
Uh,
machine.
no, pues sí, that's true. Oh man. Pues está bueno. Wow.
Royal no va a poder dormir ahora.
I'll be calling you because you scared me. No, that's cool. That's cool. Well, man, we had a great conversation. It was fun and cool. Celeste, any last words, Celeste? Any last words to your fans? You're gonna have fans now.
Grab your rosaries, hold them tight, and sleep with one eye open, lovelies.
I love her. We're gonna have we should have literally
like our ghost story, midnight story with Celeste.
and telling us new things every time.
Yeah, right. So the Celeste hour.
Yes, it'll be like woo.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Who can really stay up and hear ghost stories and then go to sleep? Like,
I don't know. ¿Y qué traes ahí, Celeste? You got a broom or a mop or what?
Eli keeps bringing me a mop. I'll ride it off into the moon.
oh, yeah, espérame.
You're gonna ride it like a witch. Ay, ay, ay. No, pues está bueno. Pues cool, Celeste. So Monday, tomorrow you got school, no?
Yep, she's staying up just for you to share her gift and her story.
Question mark?
You
Her mom
are
already got a lecture
awesome.
that she has got to go to sleep, but she let her stay up a little bit. So.
No, pues qué bueno. Pues ya vete a dormir, yo también ya me voy a dormir y pues a ver qué pasa.
Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite.
Ay, a ver qué pasa. Ay, cucuy. Well, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. We will see you next time. Actually, I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. I have a show with Erika de la O at 9 or 8, and then I have another one with Hilda at 8 o'clock. If you're not busy, maybe you can stop by with us at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Do it with us. So, guys, we'll see you. Ruby Celeste, bye-bye. This is Roy with Talk Show Central RTV Style saying buenas noches and good morning.